Hey guys, it's Becky. I am back with another process video. Today I am going to be using the Amy Tangerines. I think it is on a whim, this paper pad right here for my layout. I am going to use a piece of white cardstock as my background. It is the basil cardstock. I'm going to be using the textured side of it, and also that sketch I just showed you from Creative Scrappers. So at first I thought that I would be using that floral print, but I am not. I am going to use this one right here. It's on that sketch. You can see there was a horizontal piece and then there were some strips that go across the bottom. I have found with these sketches there are a lot of sketches in the collection that do have a lot of strips, so that's been kind of fun working with, and also a little bit like eek, because when you have to cut the strips out of a full piece of paper, it can be difficult. It's not as hard to do when you are using a paper pad though, because you know you have at least two of those papers, right? So I am going to use the stripe paper. You can see that I had some adhesive on the back of it. I was going to use that as a border on a different layout, and I didn't end up using it, so I just had that extra. So I did just cut off that piece right there. It's probably about an inch and a quarter. Right here I am looking through the Amy Tan sticker book. These are clear stickers, and I am going to pull out one of the stickers and back it on some white cardstock. This sticker just says "Love This." On the sketch at the bottom of the photo there were 3 circular elements, and I thought I would use that as one of the elements, and it looked okay. It looked good on the white cardstock, so I am going to pull out a couple more of them and also fussy cut those out as well. I pulled out a blue blue piece that says "Oh yeah," and a little circle that says Jan on it for January, because this is a photo that I'm going to be scrapbooking. It was taken in January. Right here is where I decide I do not want that other floral piece, so I cut off another of the stripes, or another strip that was from that one paper that was the blocks of color, because this is going to end up being a very colorful layout, as is a lot of layouts you might do with the Amy Tangerine line, right? I also cut this piece off that was from the journaling blocks. I can't remember what it says. Oh, I hate to brag, but I am going to cut the wording off of that. And on this strip right here, I just cut off a piece in the center because I wanted more yellow. So I kind of, just cut it out to where I could have the yellow bit over on the right hand side of that strip. Now down below, I do like that coral floral pattern that I set the photo on, but there was just way too much of it. Even when I tried to add more of that colors in those strips, there was just too much of it. So I did cut out another block of that blocked color paper, and it's going to sit right down there at the bottom. I'm also going to map my photo on that paper. I don't do it just yet, but I will do it here in a little bit. Right here is where I decide, man, this is so busy. Let me see what happens if I put black background on my journaling card, and I really liked it. So then I went and put a black background on that colorful block that I have on the horizontal strip. And I like that so much, I am going to cut away and I'm going to do that on all the strips of paper that I have. They're all going to be bordered in black, and it makes it a little less busy. I've done this before. A lot of times I will back my little bits, strips, or whatever I'm working with on white, just because it'll give it a little bit of separation from the pattern that it happens to be laying on. I don't know if I've done it in black before, but it turns out really nice. I like it. Now you can see where I put the strips down there. Well, I don't know if you can see this. I can see this. One of them is crooked. I even tried to use my T-square ruler to get that straight. It was not happening on this day. Well, it doesn't happen like 80% of the time, but on this day it was really not happening. And also I have to cut off a little bit here. For some reason, user error, I'm going to assume, like when I cut the branding strips off of my basil cardstock, there's not really a distinct line of where you cut, so I always use my trimmer and kind of try to line it up to 12 inches. I always get it off. Either I leave too much or I leave too little. So in this case, I think I had left too little, so I had to cut the other strips down to kind of match it. So the circle elements that are going to go under the photo, I decided to put black circles under those as well. Now that camera and that oh yeah are not going to stay there as the elements. They are going to stay on the page, but just not right in that specific spot. Oh, right here I'm looking for a piece of that blocked color pattern paper because I thought I would use those to put on the circles. They don't end up staying there. I'm going to put something else in that spot. So here's where that camera moved and the oh yeah moved. And I'm going to tuck the January in over on the side. I don't think I do that just yet, but it is going to be on the page. It kind of stands out a little bit like a sore thumb, but you know, that's okay. I have the January on the side of that journaling block, and then at the bottom of my journaling I put 2018, so you can clearly tell it's January 2018. So here's where I found that paper that had all those smiley faces on it. That's what I'm going to use on those circles, on top of those black circles. I use a yellow one with a smiley face, and I use a pink one with a winky face. Here I just pulled out a bowl. I have like embellishments in it, and I'm drawing some half circles. In the sketch there was like a circular element over to the sides of the photo. I'm just going to stitch that on there. I'm going to use some yellow embroidery thread, and I think I used 3 strands. I'm going to go ahead and commit to the placement of where this block is, also with the journaling block. I really like it, and I kept it there. I don't know how well that coral floral paper turns in out, how the coral paper, you know, works. It might not tie in that great in the end, but because it's all bordered in black, to my eye it looks like it kind of belongs there. I just wanted to have a little bit of girly on there for the baby girl in this photo. I did a lot of rifling around through scraps and bits over on the right hand side of my desk. I really tried to zoom in on this layout so you wouldn't have to see that mess over to the right hand side, but it didn't work that well. It wouldn't all fit. Here's where I'm going to go ahead and punch the holes for the stitching, and like I said, I am going to stitch with yellow. I did want a little bit more yellow in here. I'm showing you the Heidi Swap Color Shine in Black because I want to splatter around that area, and if I did that after I did the stitching, some of it could get on my stitching and absorb into the thread, and I didn't want that. That has happened to me before, and it's really not a pretty look at all. I'm going to go ahead and commit to my photo. Right there, that's a photo of BJ and this a member of Marissa's family, Isabel, and he's just holding her. She's so cute. She looks like a baby doll, like a little porcelain doll. She's so cute. Right here I'm putting that do your thing down right there, and the reason I did is I thought it would kind of detract from the crookedness of that strip. Maybe you wouldn't be able to tell that it was crooked. You can still kind of tell. I'm okay with that. It doesn't, I'm not really OCD about that kind of thing, so it's perfectly fine. I am going to pop up those 3 elements under the photo on some foam tape. Excuse me. Alright, so this camera is also going to be popped up on foam tape as well. And that January, I kind of toyed around with putting foam tape underneath it, but I did not, because it already looks like it's popped up a little bit, just because those strips, they're 2 layers, right? You got the layer of pattern paper and the layer of the black cardstock, so it kind of bumps up over the piece of white cardstock that didn't have anything on top of it. This is where I go ahead and put my title down. It says practicing, because he is practicing his parenting skills on poor little Isabel. And I did use that Cal Barteski font for that. Here's where I'm going to go ahead and write my journaling. And then I think I'm going to pull out my paper piercer. I wanted a little bit more yellow. So I am going to pierce a line underneath my journaling, and I'm going to pierce a line underneath Do Your Thing, and I am just going to stitch it with the same yellow thread that I stitched the circles with. Right here you can see I'm pushing the top of that paper piercing because it is going through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 layers. The piercer did not want to go through that many holes. But I got it in the end. It doesn't add a whole lot, but it does give me a little bit more yellow, and also stitching, right? It was fun to do. Alright guys, after I do that, I do not do anything else to this layout. I want to thank you so much for joining me. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.